Hello there, English speakers, and welcome to a maple with some stuff on it, and a sweet cherry with some stuff on it. And here you have one linden with some stuff on the leaves, and here you have a mountain ash or a rowan with some stuff on it. What is the stuff, you might wonder? Well, it comes from the birch. It's sperm or something. But they will talk about persuasion words and how you brainwash people, because we want to do that. But let's start by taking a big, deep breath. And here you have some Swedish white beam with some birch stuff on it. So let's start. Yesterday I posted a wonderful Sunday video, the most holy video that you will ever see, that explain the power of the cross. It seems that the cross, not only can you keep vampires away, you can actually keep big reptiles away. I think it was an alligator, I'm not sure, might be a crocodile, but if you show it a cross or a crucifix, then it will realize that you are too holy to eat. I finally figured out how to translate an image with words in it. Grok and Perplexity and all AIs, they totally fail to understand what I want, and they create all sorts of junk images that are not translated at all, or they generate a totally different image. But finally I found it's just Google Translate can translate an image. So if you have a big image with a lot of text on it, you can just tell Google Translate that it's not that good, I think, but it's good that it can have this feature. So now you have some extra, and you know how to do it if you want it in another language now, which I didn't know, so I assume that many of you didn't know how to create those kind of things. And again, let's repeat this. Do not use words about Israel's crimes that reminds people of the crimes of Europeans. That will transfer the sins of Israel into the Europeans, just like they transfer the sins into a chicken and wave it around the head and kill the chicken. That's exactly what they are doing. If you call Israel imperialist, you will think that, yeah, Israel is just doing whatever the European imperialists did, because building railroads and well, bringing civilization, that's exactly the same as doing a permanent Holocaust of the ones living in the land, or it's not. So you can criticize imperialism all you want, but don't associate it with Israel. And the same with colonial. Somehow that will make Europeans responsible for Israel, which is partly true, but it's not helpful to say that if you want Europeans on your side. Arabs, for example. That would be like calling... if you call Israel something like, yeah, you're like these Muslims, then you will not get support from the Arabs against them, for example. And fascism is, of course, a totally European thing, so you must not call it fascism, and don't call it Nazi, and do not call it apartheid. That was a totally different system, and Hafrada is not apartheid. Hafrada means that you kept you separate, as you're a Jewish supremacist, and the others are not separate because you are there bombing, harassing them, stealing their stuff, and killing them in general. So what to use them? The Holocaust is good. That's a Greek word, but the Jews use them themselves. A burnt offering. Terrorism works. Bolshevikism, they were involved in that, of course. And if they are anti-communists, you can call them Trotskyists. So that's Trotskyism. which is basically neocons, warmongers. They are Trotskyists. They hated Stalin, but they were still Jewish supremacists and communists in another flavor. And as I said, Hafrada is the half apartheid system where one side is apartheid and one side is harassed. And supremacy, and you can speak about the Talmud values like Ursula von der Leyen did, so that people associate their behavior with their unholy books. And they have a slaver mentality, not a slave mentality, but a slaver mentality. And of course they have bloodlust like vampires, and they practiced occult rituals. So that's something that will not associate their crimes with innocent people or people who were bad, but not that bad. There has been a poll that has been done, and they realized that some people are still planning to take a COVID vaccination, a booster, this autumn. What's the wrong with those people? 21% are definitely sure that they will get one. 19% think that they will get a booster. They have apparently totally destroyed their brains. There is no saving these people. They will be exterminated, I think. Maybe the vaccine producers are making this less toxic now because they realize that they have to sell something, so they can't make them totally dead. But yeah, that's people for you. If you have been accidentally vaccinated for some reason, there is something called Zeolite that I talked about before. It's a group of minerals, but if you take the right ones, you can put it in a spray or in drops, and in that way you can it binds to the heavy metals and get them out of your body. And it has been very good for people that have lost a lot of mental or neurological problems due to this. Maybe if you give it to people, they will become anti-vaxxers. And this is sold by Stop Mandatory Vaccinations. I can't vouch for them, of course, but I haven't they seem trustworthy. I will warn you later on, one of the guys promoting this, he did a little mistake, but he corrected it. Cassius Dio, is that his name? I should really get a better pen. Cassius Dios? Damn it. We call him Cassius. He was a Greek-Roman historian that lived from 155 to 235 Anno Domino. And he was writing about that in Libya, in Cyrene, the Jews were massacring 220,000 people, and on Cyprus they holocausted 240,000 people in the most hideous ways, and then they used their body parts as trophies in all disgusting kind of ways. So that's why Jews are not welcome on Cyprus anymore, he said. They haven't changed so much. They might be hiding themselves a little bit, but Gaza kind of explains that they haven't changed themselves at all. The majority, not all of them, yada yada. John Nelson Darby, he was, what should we say, the forefather of the Scofield Bible. And he was the one who did this rapture story, where all the Jews have to be in Israel, and then the rapture will come. Yeah, that's total bullshit. And someone is writing, no, he didn't invent the rapture. Look at these ancient sources. But that's a totally different rapture. It's not the same rapture with the same preconditions. So how you can say that, yeah, I do not want to learn all of that things, but to prove that people are idiots that can't reason, I have been forced. I've linked to some. If you are interested in the details of it, you can learn them. I hope I don't have to. You can do it for me. Antonia. What is that? Antonia was a Roman fortress. You can still see some people worshipping a wall of it. So that's the Wailing Wall, where you can worship Titus and say that that was well done. And I also wrote some translations of the text that says that Titus did not leave any stone on any stone left from the temple. That was completely dismantled and all the gold melted up, etc. So if you think that anything of the temple is left, no, they made really sure that nothing of the temple is left. And they didn't start to worship this Roman fortress wall until in the Middle Ages, in medieval times. Irish TV is having a Monday, even though it was a Sunday or something. So they have a black lady, and she says that Ireland suffered heavily under UK oppression, but the Irish people have still not come to terms with that they have a problem with whiteness and white privilege that they need to understand. Yeah, so they have been oppressed by Jewish absent landlords, and now they should be oppressed by Jewish done mass immigration that is destroying their country. So that makes sense if you are a total lunatic and a Jewish black person. I call them Jewish because that was an insult, not that she actually is Jewish, but she works for them. European Union is cancer. What happens if you remove a cancer? It spreads all over your body, so don't do that. EU needs to be defeated and controlled. That's how you defeat the cancer. I have a good image that is symbolizing that, where you have European Union getting eaten by wolves while it's sleeping, and that's exactly how the so-called leadership of European Union is doing at the moment. Keir Starmer allegedly said that UK has free speech. It has not been abolished. And if you say that free speech has been abolished, you will get arrested. That's the one with a Jewish wife with a very big strap on. Mark Collett, he is a nationalist from UK. He went to Sweden and he spent 24 hours in arrest on Arlanda. Then he got deported. He was here in Sweden to talk to some Swedish nationalists. And he was now convicted of having the wrong opinions. Sorry, Blackbird, I didn't mean to startle you. So that's bad. And now he can't go into Schengen, which is most of Europe, including Iceland and Norway. For 15 years he can't come here. This is insanely evil from my government. That is not mine, I feel. Our Prime Minister, he's getting some heat from people who are filled with gas or don't like him. I really don't like him, but this critique is a little bit dumb. Ulf Kristersson, the Prime Minister of Sweden, is saying that he uses AI a lot. And yes, of course, I do that too. And the only problem is if he's aware of that he might get wrong answers and how well he uses it, and does he use Gab AI, that is still banned from X, but you can use it on gab.ai, or uncensored.ai with DOT, one word, uncensored.ai, that you can message on X. I didn't succeed. Sometimes they can't answer because they have too many questions, those AIs. But if he uses it wisely, of course, he should, and see if he had missed something and getting good ideas and stuff. So I think that critique, that's just partisan bullshit to criticize him for that. Martin Goney, Martin Goney, he wanted, in 1903, he wanted to save children, so he tried to use chicken incubators to put prematurely born babies in. But the hospitals, they were not interested in funding that. What to do if you want to save prematurely born babies? Well, you make a show out of it. So they had incubator exhibitions where you can go and look at these tiny newborn babies getting saved, and you pay for it to see this spectacle, and you save children, and you see when he is doing that. So the 40 years that followed, he saved 6,500 prematurely born children, just thanks to people wanting to see him do that. So that's an interesting way to fund healthcare. You can of course do it as Planned Parenthood and others, and just sell their body parts. That's worse, I think. It's a little bit creepy that people pay to see suffering children, but on the other hand, it was for a good cause. But crazy. How do you deal with vax envy when you are vaccinated, and all these non-vaccinated people, they have so much envy towards you? You might think that is a stupid ad. It's a diabolical ad. I've talked many times about how to manipulate people. You use emotions, you repeat it, as I do now, and you use visual things like they do in this image, and you really push up their ego. So they are, you give them the impression that they are so superior because they have been vaccinated, so they have to handle all this non-existent envy that everyone else is feeling about them. So what if I would do something similar and say that how do you handle all this information and awareness and your superiority after listening to me? Would I do something like that to you? Yeah, totally, I will do that. Wait for Thursday, and I will teach you how to stand, how to be this totally superior after listening to me, knowing all the stuff that everyone should know, but they don't. How to not be a total ass about it, but still benefit. Or at least I will make you think that, because I kind of have to do stuff like that. Otherwise, you can't fight communists with honest, logical liberalism values. You have to use fascism and use some of their tricks against them, not the ones like total genocidal terrorism and that things. We try to avoid that. And great news, I went back in time to Goebbels just to give him this news, and he was so happy to getting to know this. It turns out that Fox News, they have now marked up all their lying Jews with a Judenstern, so what they call the Star of David. So that's nice, he thinks. So a lot of people on Fox News have been starting to wear this Judenstern. So that's good, according to Goebbels. He should know that. He had similar laws implemented. I linked to a funny video about a lady with a boyfriend, and she had started to realize maybe her boyfriend actually tells the truth, and he doesn't mean anything more than he says about all sorts of things. Yeah, that's generally the case. There is one exception, ladies. If you have a boyfriend or you plan to have one or had one, if you're asking your man, what are you thinking about? If they answer, oh, I'm thinking about you, darling, then they are having an affair. So that's definitely what they are doing. If they are saying nothing, then they are lying. And you should be very, very happy about that, because your man is protecting you from his thoughts. If your man is actually answering the question what he's thinking about, then you start thinking about your very, very boring former boyfriend that you left because he was only talking about very boring stuff that you are not interested in. So if your man answers, what are you thinking about? And they say nothing, it's a good man, keep him. And then we have this mistake that I've seen many people on X do the last 24 hours. It was an old headline from July where it says that Macron drops his lawsuit on Candace Owens. So he didn't drop the lawsuit, he dropped the lawsuit on Candace Owens. So this was when it was breaking news that he had sued Candace Owens. So a lot of people read this wrong. For example, this guy behind Stop Mandatory Vaccination, but he corrected it, and I have no less, I have more credibility, I have more trust in him after he totally accepted that he was just missing a word or reading the headline wrong. But that happens. Sometimes an American will think that corn always means maize, but it can mean wheat and barley also, and even oats. Here in Sweden, there is a big catastrophe that was happening in the evening news on Rapport. They were saying that they were going to go to the Negro Desert. So they say it sounded like, and AI thought it sounded like also. So it's written, instead of Negev, which is a desert in Israel, instead of Negev, it transcribed that as Neger. Neger is Negro in Swedish. So thank God that nothing is happening in Niger, because that is a Negro desert actually, and the country is named after a river, Niger. So I hope that there is a lot of things happening in that Sahel region, but with some luck, Swedish TV will avoid reporting about that, because so many were hurt. No, not one single person got upset about this, except that people are making fun of it and they don't like people having fun. So that's, yeah, they even took down the entire episode from the internet and scrubbed it everywhere. Of course, that doesn't help at all. Stupid. But yeah, they have a Negro desert in Israel, according to Swedish state media. Have a nice, fine Monday and use the right words so that you don't accidentally blame others for others' crimes.